Does your child melt down before school, or do they melt down as soon as they get home from school? Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Rachel. We're the in-house occupational therapy assistants here at Harkla. Today, we're going to give you 10 simple strategies to make the morning routine and the after-school routine a little bit easier and a little bit better for the sensory system.
Yep, so we're gonna start with 5 activities that you can incorporate into the morning before school routine. And the first one is to get outside. Research has shown, it's very clear that getting outside and getting that early morning sunlight first thing is so helpful to really set the tone of the day, help set that circadian rhythm, and funny enough, this will actually also help with the bedtime routine.
The next one is eating a good breakfast. So this means ditching the sugar, ditching the food dye, and really focusing on protein, and taking an extra few minutes to make a good quality breakfast will go a long way in helping your child feel a little bit more regulated with their emotions.
Yep. Next is to create a really simple, easy to complete sensory obstacle course for your child. You can do this by setting it up the night before if the mornings are a little bit rushed, but this can be just quick 5 to 10 minutes where your child gets to run, jump, climb, crash, play on the floor, and it's set up kind of circuit style. So maybe they have a crash pad and a swing, and they're gonna do some jumping, crash on the crash pad, swing in the swing for a couple of rounds, crawl through the tunnel back to the beginning. Something simple, easy that they enjoy doing to really get their sensory system set up for the day.
Going along with that is primitive reflex integration activities. And again, this does set the brain up for success. It's kind of like morning coffee, but for the brain, for kids. So we're going to do things like holding a Superman banana, rocking on hands and knees, doing a log roll back and forth across the room, crawling up and down the hallway as they're going to get dressed or going to brush their teeth, and adding some of those movement-based activities that will also work on their primitive reflexes into that morning routine.
Yes. The last one here for the morning routine is quality time. And we know as parents ourselves that the morning routine can be rushed and crazy and chaotic, but if you can just find couple of minutes in the morning, whether it's while you're brushing your teeth, maybe it's while you're driving your child to school, wherever you can find those couple of minutes to just have a little bit of quality time with your child. Especially our younger children really crave that connection with us. So find a time, just a couple of minutes, whether it's eating breakfast together, like I said, maybe you brush your teeth together and listen to your favorite song and have like a bathroom dance party. That is really great quality time. Doesn't have to be crazy long, can be quick and short before you're out the door.
Yep. All right, after school, if your child is melting down, if they are coming home completely dysregulated, the first thing is to make sure they are having a good high protein snack. Again, ditch the food dye, ditch the sugar, really focus on something that provides sensory input. So maybe something chewy like a meat stick or beef jerky, something cold like a fruit smoothie with protein in it, something that is nourishing their body and their brain, but also their sensory system.
Yes. The next thing is going to be to help them take a moment to decompress in a sensory or a calm down corner. Again, this one's going to take a little bit of setup ahead of time. Maybe you spend the weekend creating your child's sensory corner where they can go, they can escape the chaos of the day, because school is very overstimulating and there's a lot of demands at school, which is why they're melting down when they come home. So they need some time and some space to decompress after school.
Then we're going to go outside. We're going to take our shoes off if the weather permits. We are going to look at the clouds, the sky. We're going to climb a tree. We're going to ride our bike. We're going to do chalk. We're going to play in the sandbox. We're going to walk and get the mail at the mailbox. Whatever we can do outside, get some fresh air. Even if it is cold, we want to make sure that we are spending time outside, off of screens, and connecting and chatting about the day and what made you happy, what was challenging, and that's a great time to connect as well.
I will say walking to and from school can totally count as the outside time before and after school. So if you live close enough to your child's school and they can ride their bike or they can walk and you can join them for that quality time, that totally counts.
All right, the next one is a sensory obstacle course. So again, this is a great one if you have an older child. They could set up the obstacle course themselves. If you have a younger child, you can set up an obstacle course, but focus on movements like crawling, climbing, crawling backwards, doing animal walks, maybe including a puzzle that they have to do at the beginning and the end, carrying those puzzle pieces around. Focus on positions of flexion because flexion is really calming for the nervous system as well.
Yep. And finally, we highly encourage you to have your child participate in the dinner prep somehow, some way. Maybe it's setting the dinner table. Maybe they are stirring and mixing something. Maybe they are helping bring the food from the kitchen to the table for the meal. Maybe they are participating in the cleanup after dinner, helping with dishes, wiping down tables and counters. Have your child participate in the mealtime routine in some way, and you can expand on that to the point where maybe they are helping plan the meal and they are helping with that cooking process in a more, expansive way, especially as they get a little bit older. But this is going to be teaching a lot of life skills. It's going to provide some quality time with them. And it's just really something to get into the routine of that's going to be really helpful in the long run.
Bonus tip, make sure that you add these routine activities onto their visual schedule. If your child thrives with routine and visuals, add these activities onto their visual schedule and let them choose the order that they're doing them and what works best for them, and just give them that control and help them identify what feels good for their body and maybe what doesn't, and teach them to advocate for their sensory needs.
Yes. Now, I will say that if these tips are helpful and you're super pumped to try these out, start small. If you are looking at this list and you're like, I'm going to try all 5 of these things all at once, you can try it, but I would recommend starting with 1 or 2 small changes at a time. Have those consistently in the routine for a couple of weeks before you add on a new thing, because sometimes change is hard. And if your child is already struggling, we don't want to change everything all at once. So start small, start with 1 thing at a time and build up.
If you have a favorite activity that you complete with your child in the morning or after school, let us know in the comment section, so that way sharing is caring and other people who are watching this video can also kind of get an idea of what's realistic in their lifestyle, and maybe they can fit it in with your lifestyle as well.
Yes, hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you got some good ideas and something sticks and something fits into your routine. Like Rachel mentioned, leave us a comment, let us know, click the like button, and make sure you're subscribed.
Don't forget to listen to our podcast. We have tons of helpful information there. It's All Things Sensory by Harkla, and you can listen on all major podcast platforms as well as on YouTube.
Yes, make sure you're also following us on social media. We're at Harkla_family as well as at All Things Sensory Podcast.
And with that, we'll plan on seeing you next week for another video.
Okay, bye.